Hello, hello. Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing? Looks like we got Chopper Harris in the house, J Cube, Kentucky, Night Shadow, Rebecca, and Grizz. What's up, guys? Oh, what's up, Jinx? How you doing? So we're gonna do I'm gonna do what I usually do every morning, and that's kind of make sure I have no meetings, and then I go right into my Delphi folder, go through the information, hoping something new will jump out at me. I did have a great comment this morning from a subscriber. Basically, they were trying to say that Richard Allen was going out onto that first pier or going out somewhat onto the bridge to take a look. Um, I guess that would be what, eastbound? East down Deer Creek, basically in the direction of where he planned to take those girls. And in this comment, the subscriber stated that the reason he went out there was to make eye contact or get a visual on people who were assisting him in the crime. Because technically, if you look down that river, if you're facing east, looking down the opposite direction, not towards Delphi, but look the opposite direction, right where the bend is where they were found. So I thought that that was a good point. I didn't 100% agree with it, but I thought it was a good place to start today's conversation. Because I believe that he got on that bridge because he intended to cross it. Hey, what's up, Lynn? Lynn Ormond. Bass Girl, what's up? Always good to see you. Marlo Mack, good morning. Happy Monday, Sleuth and Sleuthers. Thank you, Marlo. Yeah, today has a good feeling to it. I like to embrace Monday. Rebecca says, listening while cleaning up from my kiddo's birthday party yesterday. Well, happy birthday to your kiddo, Rebecca. Hope you got some music blaring, and if you got me, cool. Hey, Miss Thang. Growing Crazy. Julianne Friend. Hunting Evil True Crime. Hey, Patricia. Patricia Warner in the house. Nana72. Hey, you made it. Copper says, good morning, everyone. Coffee. Happy spring. I love springtime. I love going in my garden. I love going outside. Now it's the heart of the summertime that's hard for us Phoenicians. Sleuth, I got to show you the map. How can I contact you? You can shoot me an email at sleuthintuition@gmail.com. Hey, good morning, Tara. Here, I think these might visually help us try to understand. Let me pull these up. And Libby did much more than get him on video. She seemed to be documenting the whole situation. Purposefully or not, that's what she was doing. Okay, so we know that the female witness that parked here at the Mears lot, which is just back here behind these trees. Okay, she parked and she walked down the trail to about right here. And she said that the person that she witnessed was in this area here. Rebecca says, I always assumed he intended to cross the bridge too. That's something to consider. Yeah, I think he did cross the bridge. And I think I don't know if these pictures prove it because he could be hiding right here somewhere, in these trees. He could have decided to follow that witness back, behind her For all she knew, he was stalking her at that point. Because I don't know if she went back towards the Freedom Bridge, and I'm referring to the witness. I don't know if she came to the trail, to the bridge head here, and then headed out on the trail, and then maybe he followed her out that way, and then followed her back to her car, and she didn't even know. So maybe he was stalking. I'm not sure, but it just doesn't appear that way. And according to the witnesses, that's not what happened. What happened was she seen him out on the bridge. She continued on with her walk. And then when she decided she was done on her way back to her vehicle, she passed who she thought were the victims. Okay, so if she sees Richard Allen out on the bridge, that means he's already here. The girls are on their way to being dropped off. She continues her walk. That means he's still on the bridge here or somewhere close by this side of the bridge, which is closest to the Mears lot. I guess that would be the north end, and where the Weber residence would be the south. So by this picture being taken at 2:05, we know that Richard Allen is either somewhere here in these trees, further down the trail, possibly underneath, or he's completely crossed the bridge. Now this is evidence here, what we're looking at, because of the timeline. We know factually pictures taken at 2:05. And we know exactly what time the witness came. We know exactly what time the witnesses, or what time Richard Allen, or who they think was Richard Allen's car, arrived. Very tight timeline, and they can verify it. Thank you, Kate. Yeah, if you could hit the like button, that'd be great. I did, but it's queued for some reason. Queued. That's weird. Yeah, I got your email just a few moments ago, Charlie. I'll take a look. Adam Missouri. Yeah, when you sent it, I like those kind of emails. So I'm looking forward to taking a look at that here in a few. Good morning, Boston. Happy spring. Thomas Frost in Eaton County, Indiana, searching for a missing 14-year-old boy currently. Yeah, I like Thomas Frost. I like him in Indie Archive. Have you ever had someone just comment, see it pop up, notification of another person's comment, and then go to read it and not? No. Hey, what's up, New York? Rory in the place to be. Did you see Misbehaved's channel? She shows a newspaper with a picture of Bridge Guy with the stripes on his pants and a pair of handcuffs. Do you know anything about that? Newspaper with a picture of Bridge Guy with stripes? No, I've never seen that. How do you know it's Bridge Guy? Which newspaper? I would like to see that. Hey, Freckle. Thanks for the comment, P. Him being in the woods lurking is what I've always thought. I just don't understand, because he knows that people are out there. He knows people are watching him. Why would he go lurking through the woods? I don't think he was there to lurk. I think he was there to do a job. That's why he had the phone. That's why he was given access that morning to the Anthony Shots account. And he was most likely the one, not Kagan, who was messaging the girls the morning of. He's like, okay, I'll take it from here. Or the killer who Kagan probably knows, or somebody that knows these killers, or Richard Allen. I don't know if Kagan knows him directly, but I do believe in my heart he is connected. Whether he knew it at the time or kind of figured it after, like, oh, wow, there's that girl. This person was interested in her, was asking me to, further communicate with this person, and then eventually connect him with this person, and now she's dead. Base Girl says, so do you think it only took 10 minutes to cross the bridge? Well, I think Libby could easily cross that bridge in like 5 minutes if she wanted to. 5-6 minutes. We've seen people run across it in 3. I think the normal time would be just around 5 or 6 minutes to just kind of cross it casually. But from what I see, and Abby has her hands in her pocket, but I think it's just because she's cold, you know. Because if you see, she has her hands in the pocket, but she's still able to have them out to where she can use them to balance herself. So I think she was struggling on the bridge. She was determined to cross it for whatever reason. I think they were meeting somebody on the other side of the bridge. And Abby was her duty, either as a friend or motivated by whatever she thought was on the other side of that bridge as well. She's going to make this trek. She doesn't want to. She's terrified. Libby's there either motivating her, kind of making fun of her, just doing teenager stuff, filming her. Like, come on, like this, I'm going to document you crossing the bridge. And maybe she's crossed it more. Maybe I'm wrong. Anna seems to think that she really didn't spend much time on that bridge from her understanding. But I know parents don't really know what their teens are doing. It's okay. It's just the way of the world. But from this image, well, actually, they took a different image first. Wait, we'll go to this here in just a minute. I think this was the first image. And this is just about halfway. So from this documentation, and this is probably anywhere between 2 p.m. and 2:05, because it was taken before the second one, which we know for a fact they came out and said was 2:05. So right around 2 o'clock, we know there's nobody there on the bridge unless they are with the girls. Now, he could be with the girls at this point in time as a friend. I don't know. I doubt it. But that's the only way he's not in this photo. He's not on this side of the bridge. And 5 minutes later, he's not. She simply turned around. She took a picture of the south end, turns around, and then there's Libby behind her. So she got the entire bridge in this image, unless just somewhere in this area there's a gentleman standing there who is just kind of making small talk, being creepy maybe. Hey, Vanessa, good to see you. Good morning. Hunting evil true crime. I got an email that you've been using people's names and stuff in my chat and when you called in, so I don't want to have to kick you out of here, man. Just don't be using people's names. I had some girl, I hadn't had a chance to look at it too good, but she emailed me twice now. And I can't edit my video. I can't just edit a live stream out. It'll cut everything. So no more name dropping. Hey, Jamie. You can always email me. Keep it short-winded. What's up, Railroad? All right, Chris. Happy spring, Mustang. Rebecca says that's a good point. Good morning, Olivia. Good morning, SP74. Return the diamonds. Good morning. No, you get kicked because you don't know when to chill out, and you're riding that line now. So if you can't take heat, I mean, I don't know what the point is. Wonder if if there's more pictures on the phone before they got to the bridge. Well, according to Kelsey, they went there to take pictures. So I mean, they just got a quick start. They're taking photos. Maybe they had a plan to go to the south end, go under the bridge, and take some photos down there. Maybe they told somebody that. Or maybe somebody told them, hey, can you come down here and take photos for us? Who knows? There's a whole week prior to the crime that's just 100% mystery to me anyway. Hey, Big Fish, where were the geocaches? Is that just a filter or black and white? No, I put a filter on this. I wanted to see if we can pick up anything in the background here, but So they spent a lot of time on this bridge. So if they're getting dropped off at 1:45, takes maybe 5 minutes to get to the bridge. You know, they were on that bridge probably like, I don't know, 15 minutes maybe. And I think, and the reason I believe that is she's kind of taking her time. She's behind Libby. Libby's able to take photos. She's running up and down, but also the video that Libby took of the bridge guy, she appears to be completely off of the bridge and kind of wishing that Abby would hurry up. But Abby can't hurry up. She's not used to this bridge. She's doing her best, I think. She's like, okay, I'm coming, I'm coming, I'm coming. Well, the guy's behind you. Hurry, come on, come on. She's like, I'm scared. I'm trying to go as fast as I can. And here comes the bridge guy who's walking like effortlessly over this bridge, like it's not his first time. It's her first time. She can't run because if she takes one wrong step, boom, she's going to trip. So let's take a look at that video. See if I can clear it up just a little bit for you guys. A little clarity. Oh, that's too sharp. A little bit of the tone curve. Bring out the right side of the face just a little bit. Yeah, that looks okay. Okay, so this video that she's taking here, let me put it in slow-mo. So she's off the bridge. Libby's on the south end of the bridge and she's off to the corner. She's like, come on, come on, come on, let's go, let's go, let's go. And she's like kind of already wanting to go down underneath the bridge to try to get away. And Abby's like, I'm coming, I'm coming, I'm coming, I'm coming, I'm going as fast as I can. And as she's doing her best to finish crossing the bridge, this guy's just like, well, I'm coming right for you. Almost as if you guys are right where I need you to accomplish my goal today. Good morning, Bobby. How are you? Hey, Ruckus. Good morning. Good to see you. What does RTD mean? What I just read was not good. RTD, I don't know what that is. Well, if you're just coming in, good morning, everybody. If you got some free time here, we're just going to talk about the Delphi case. It's become kind of a ritual for me. I wake up in the morning, start my coffee, get my breakfast going, make sure I have no meetings, and then I look at what's going on with the Delphi case. No updates. Okay. Let's go into the Delphi folder. What are we missing? How can we help? Hey, Bonnie, look closely at the left side of the pic. The creek, two older trees making a V. Above the creek bed, you'll see a guy. You said in a picture? You talking down here in this area? Two trees make a V. Oh, down here? Oh, you're talking right here? It'd be hard to say. Pareidolia. Or is it, Okay, so she's off the bridge. Libby's off the bridge filming this, right? And just here to the left of this image is most likely Libby doing her best to cross the bridge. Now, this guy's trying to act casual, but you can tell he had to have been walking fast. He could have came from the woods. If they're going that slow and they're spending that much time, he could have easily came out of the woods on the north end. You know, where he walked back on that trail when he made that video from the bridge to the cemetery. There's a trail that goes along that whole area. So he could have took the bridge guy or Richard Allen could have taken that trail, seen the girls from that point because you can view the bridge from way over there. And if they're taking their time, he could have just made his way and actually caught all the way up to Libby, or excuse me, Abby, while Libby had already crossed. And it's like, you can do it, Abby, you can do it. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, here comes this freaking monster, and he's closing in on him. Like it had to been one of the most scariest things ever, especially for Abby. She's already freaked out, right? So it would be easy for this gentleman to perpetrate a ruse on them if they're already kind of shaken up, or if he has a gun. You know, we're already scared. We're already kind of fragile. We just crossed this bridge. You know, that was going to be the highlight of our day. And now this guy, you know, you're already shaken. Good morning, Phil. Freckled says Anna said that they said a creepy man was following them. That has always made me think they saw him somewhere else on the trail, maybe. Yeah, maybe before they got to the bridge, you know, they snapped a few photos and he's already out on that trail and he's kind of being weird. He's kind of looking at him. Because even the other girls that he crossed said he was like kind of weird. We're giving him bad vibes. I hear that, Rebecca. I'm going to enjoy this like month before the 100-degree weather. Vanessa says there was a deer stand there at some point. Well, there were deer stands on both ends. Gone now, but I always thought that would be a good hiding spot. Yeah, the deer stand on the north side is down that trail. I think it even might be on Ron Logan's property. I'm not sure. But there's also on the south end another deer stand. And I believe there was a camera on that end. Good morning, my wrench. Return the Diamond says that's a good possibility that he was, in fact, on the bridge with them. And one of the pressers, law enforcement even said you only see what is here, front, not here, peripheral. Yeah, I wondered if he was already out there on the bridge, you know? So let's say, here, just entertain this for a second. Okay. So she's out there to take photos. She wants to get a good photo, but there's this ugly troll in her shot. Like this damn ugly troll here. Let's wait for him to pass. Okay, so he's coming from the south end already. He passes, or he's getting ready to pass, right? He's on the north side now, where Libby is. He's just kind of standing there. And now he's walking towards them. He passes them. She's like, okay, now I can turn around. So he might be on the bridge with them and they're not communicating. So now that he continued on, they're not worried about this guy. Now she can turn around and take this photo because the ugly man is no longer in the image or in the view. Not likely, but you know, we don't know exactly. Freckled. Yeah, if one of the mods could. If you need to talk to me, Michael, you can email me. I don't mind speaking with you, but when you blow up the chat and you're doxing people like that, it becomes a problem for me. Hey, what's up, Frank? Hey, Tina. So, I mean, what are the possibilities here? He confronts them for, it's a fact at 2:13. This photo here was taken at 2:05. So there's an 8-minute window here for him to come running out of these woods onto the trail, or he's already there on the bridge, just out of the shot. He's underneath. What's that, trail A? He's underneath where the couple was. Down here, it's not hard to get back up to the top and then onto the trail, especially if Abby's going so slow, which it appears she is. In both instances of these photos, Libby has passed her. Abby's like, don't worry about me. I'm going at my own pace. And maybe somebody's watching that pace. Some coward, some predator twitching at the side of like a wounded animal, kind of. Mistress of Ceremonies, what's up? Says it would take me an hour to work up the courage to walk across that. See, I'm not afraid of heights. When I was a kid, we used to run across the top of trains, jump on trains and shit. But they weren't going very fast. When I'd visit my grandparents, there was a nice fishing lake. We just hop rides on trains and then jump out into the tall grass. I couldn't even step up on a train without giving myself a hernia or something. Okay, I think it's kind of obvious that BG met them on the far end of the bridge, probably walked past them as they were near the end and turned around on them and made them turn around to face him. I don't know about those details, but I think you hit it on the head there. Yeah, he was there to meet them. Abby was motivated by something. Libby was enamored by this guy. And I think that she deserved that kind of guy. The guy that she thought she was meeting, I think that she deserved that. And I think she believed she deserved it. And I think Abby believed it. And I think they were going there to embrace maybe a new chapter. But they were victimized. That's what people need to realize, that these are young girls, grown men stalking and preying, catfishing, setting up a murder of 2 children in the woods like this. Like, you have to remind yourself of how depraved that actually is. These are 2 lives that were lost out there. And there's these sick men, maybe even some women involved, who planned this out. They planned and they lured for weeks, it seems. They lured these girls to this specific location. For what reason? Is a ritual. You had the whole Lupercalia. You had the Vegas trip. You have the digital recording, memorializing is what the FBI called it. Big Fish as KG said there was a geocache like under the beginning. There's 2, like on the ledge, and says you can sit on. I may be understanding her wrong. I didn't grab that part of the interview, but the interview that I'm going to show you from Renner, just before the part that I recorded, she talks about the geocache. Before or after, she mentions that there are 2 out there. She also mentions that the girl, or not the girls, but Libby would go out there once or twice a month specifically to take photos. So maybe when she's out there, maybe they met somebody. Evil. Tough Love says 207 is the pic of Abby. 205 is the empty bridge picture. It is on News Nation Prime Special Report. So where was Abby at 205? Yeah, that's a good point. You might be right. Actually, I think you are right. Hey, Derek, good to see you, buddy. Because clearly there was nobody following them when the picture was taken. Clearly, unless he had just passed by them. Or he's hiding somewhere out here. But the only thing I don't understand is the witness is around here somewhere. You know, the witness is probably just up the street by now or in her car, maybe going under the, what is it, the 25? On the 25, that bridge that goes over the 25. So, I mean, she had just left. We're talking minutes. 205. Where is he? He's nowhere on the bridge. In my opinion, he crossed. Libby was going platform to platform and letting Abby catch up to her and reach the platform. That's what I'm thinking. She's like, don't rush. Yeah, we're going to get across. The reason we're here today is because of whatever's on the end of that bridge. Take your time. We'll get there. SP74 is asking Sleuth, why do you think we only got 1.8 seconds? It seems he didn't present the gun till he was upon them, and the video is from about 70 feet away. I don't know. I think it's just unnecessary. Usually, when law enforcement presents information like this, it's because they need an answer. They're not trying to give the public an answer. They need an answer to further their case. So the answer had nothing to do. The answer they were looking for had nothing to do if Abby was in the photo, if other people were in the photo. They just wanted to focus in on the guy on the bridge and if anybody could help identify this man. They don't need to give out any more information. It's all targeted. Anything released to the public is targeted, not for us, not for our benefit, for the benefit of the case. And they will use and manipulate us if they need to. Justly so. So I think that's how they need to use social media a little bit better. And they did that good with the Koberger case and eventually with Delphi, especially when they dropped the Anthony Shots information. They played that quite well, if you ask me. I think what that was an attack on Kagan Klein. That was, to me, that was their confidence in him having a connection to the Delphi case. Them releasing the Anthony Shots information the way they did, knowing full well that it was Kagan Klein who released it, but they didn't provide that piece of information to the public. They were releasing the bloodlust upon Keegan Klein. He tried to call law enforcement's bluff. They said, hey, we're going to put this out there. Right now, nobody knows about you, bud. Nobody has a clue who you are. Nobody knows who Anthony Shots is, except a few who may have put it together but would have been unable to verify, and it would have turned into speculation. Like Gray Hughes had great communication and connections and had the Anthony Shots bouncing around, in his peripheral for quite some time. So it was possible we would have learned about it, but that's not how we learned about it. We didn't find out about it. It was provided to us. It was spoon-fed, so to speak. Now, what they did was they were giving Keegan Klein some time. Dude, you need to digest what's about to happen. We're going to drop the hammer on you if you don't give us the information. And he admitted to that in the Barb McDonald interview. He said, yeah, they threatened me. And I said, go ahead. And then the very day that they released information, he mentioned somebody in Texas. Now, why would Keegan Klein, out of everybody he could mention, he says, oh, I had a friend in Texas reach out to me and say, hey, buddy, you're all over the news. Now, that was the very purpose of law enforcement dropping that Anthony Shots information, was to fuck with Keegan Klein. And it worked, in my opinion. I called it the pressure campaign. I don't know if you guys remember that, but the Anthony shots was a pressure campaign on Keegan Klein to squeeze out what eventually they popped right out of his head like a zit was the Wabash search, which led to Richard Allen. Sleuth, it makes a lot more sense that BG came in from the far side of the bridge, past the girls. It does. I mean, it makes sense, but I don't. You know, regardless if it makes the most sense or not, it makes equal sense to me that he's in those woods back there, or that he already crossed before they even made it to the bridge. There's a lot of what ifs. He could even be underneath. I ask where it came from because certain content creators say it is CGI. This right here, how is this CGI? Well, if you watch the reason they say it's CGI, they say things like, "Oh, because the Converse thing sticker or logo is on the outside." I don't know if that's a Converse logo. I don't know what that is. It's just ridiculous. And from my understanding, this image, I mean, think about the conspiracy. You would have had to create the image, fake it, and somehow send it through Snapchat to all of Libby's friends. Like, why would you do that? Why would you go through that trouble when it would be easier just not to create it? You know, she was dropped off at the bridge. They don't need a photo to prove that she was at the bridge. They had Kelsey if she's part of this huge conspiracy. You know what I mean? Shit don't make any sense. Stupid. Good to see you, Chief, by the way. Yeah, and I've seen those videos and I know what you're referring to. It's completely ridiculous. Doesn't make any sense. And there's a guy now behind Libby. Maybe, you know, when she turned one way, he could be behind her, turn the other way, and he's past him. So yeah, he could have walked past him, and that could be what Burston meant. You know, people in the TV business, what do you see? You know, and he kind of puts a frame. You know, they use the L7 thumb and the index on both hands to create a box. You know, that's how they frame things. It's a universal symbol of, hey, look, I'm trying to frame up something here. Yeah, thank you, Frank. I mean, you can go ahead and block him if he wants to get in contact with me. He can go ahead and he can shoot me an email. I can't have people emailing me and talking about, hey, this guy's name dropping me and doing all this shit, asking me to like completely edit my videos. I can't. If you're listening, I can't do that. All I can do is get rid of him and not bring more attention to it if we can. Nobody's paying attention. I mean, I pay attention to Michael because I have discernment. GP, good morning. F that. That's some scary shit. Hey, Bogey, what's up? 708. Tattoo you. Good to see you. Can one of the mods drop the join link? It may be in the description as well. I think I have it to every video I make. The members link should be in the description. I have my Cash App in there if anybody wants. Actually, looks like somebody did just drop me a Cash App. Thank you. We have $120 in the Cash App, guys. What should we do with that? And everybody who's donating to the Cash App, we're going to put it right back in the channel. And I will give you guys a say in what we do with it. Damn, I haven't checked it in a minute. Well, I've been putting the Cash App link on some of my videos, even on my channel too. There's 2 names here I don't even recognize. But Richard, thank you. I have 4 donations from Richard and not Richard Allen. A good Richard. Wow, buddy. $20. $20 donations. That's very thoughtful. We're going to find something to do with that, guys. I promise. They have said Libby took a video, but BG walking may not be video. The video is 43 seconds. In my opinion, the actual video must have started when BG spoke to the girls at the end of the bridge. I don't know. I just have this feeling like he came on. If he came on from the north side while they were already filming and taking these photos, he could have just been a guy. At that point, he was just some guy. There's always multiple people on the bridge walking the trails, checking it out. So he goes from just a guy to a guy who's getting a little bit close. And as he's a little bit close, that is that creepy guy getting closer to us. Yeah, he's getting close. Okay, we need to get off this bridge. Libby gets off. She's able to walk it much quicker. She's very athletic. She's strong. She's motivated. And, she's very courageous from what we hear. She's like, this bridge ain't nothing. Even if she's not courageous, she's going to show that she is, kind of like that stubborn. That's how I was. I'm going to fake it until I make it. I'm not going to show that I'm afraid of this bridge. I'm going to cross it and I'm going to do it in style. She did that. But unfortunately, Abby's behind, like, calm down, girl. Like, give me some time. I'm not playing around up here. I'm going to take my time and I'm going to cross. But dude that came on the bridge is getting really close. So you need to hurry. Something's not right. Yeah, the link, Freckled, should be in the description. You should be able to pull it up on your phone, and then in the description, just hit that link. But if somebody can post it, please do so. Freckles says, I could cross it. I wouldn't be happy about it, but I could do it. If you were Richard Allen and innocent, wouldn't you be screaming that you didn't do it to everyone? I still think there is reasonable doubt so far, Sleuth. Hi, Brian. Yeah, there's a whole lot of reasonable doubt from our perspective. But remember, the probable cause affidavit has nothing in there about what they found after the search. I mean, it's basically the probable cause to search his residence. That's all they put in there. They didn't put any of the stuff that they found. They carried out bags and books and clothing, dark colored clothing. So I don't know what that means. They could have found the victim's DNA on some of his stuff, could have found trophies. Whatever they found. Hey, what's up, Anthony? Whatever they found, they're confident. They are extremely confident and they're being careful because what they found, I think, is leading them to believe others are involved. And if others are involved and they played a larger role than even Richard Allen, it would be more important for them to catch those people. Because if he's just a small pawn in this chess game here, like Kagan Klein, hey, we need you to catfish these girls. We need you to link them up. We need to put them in this certain position for whatever reason. We're going to set a trap here. Need you to help lure them. Richard, your job is going to get them, to convince them to get under the bridge. We'll be waiting under there. Okay? Now, if they're small ponds in a much bigger game, there could be some big fish down there. Big fish that have been off the radar. Their DNA is nowhere in the system. So we got to smart somebody down there. And we need Richard Allen to go ahead and tell law enforcement who that is or who they are. Is that wooded area honestly big enough and far enough from houses to hunt on? Or is it bow only that I could see? Well, it's all private property, of course, minus the easement of the river and the bridge. But yeah, there's deer stands. It's probably bow. Um, but I mean, there's been interviews out there from people that are doing interviews on the bridge, and you can hear people hunting back there. So I mean, if it's your private land and you got over 14 acres, I mean, you could go back there with a rifle. As long as, well, in Arizona you could. As long as you're 100 yards away from anybody and you know what your backdrop is, you can shoot, whether it's public or private. If it's private, it's got to be you doing the shooting or you have permission. But on public land, yeah, you can shoot as long as you're nowhere near homes, where anybody's camping, any roads, and you have a nice big backdrop. You could hunt out there, you could shoot, you could do whatever. But I'm not from Indiana. Rebecca says, I don't mind being lied to and used by law enforcement if it gets the girls justice. I agree. I don't mind being used. I just want to bring attention to the case. They're like, oh, did you catch the bridge guy? Well, judge signed a probable cause. Like, that's not a fucking answer. That's not an answer that makes me feel confident that justice is being served. There's no confidence there. Like, I'm not going to tell you whether or not I believe it. I'm just going to tell you the judge signed a probable cause. Like, what is that? Don't be a coward now. Tina says, I saw a post Friday. It was of BG, supposedly the first photo shown on the bridge, Pharaoh's Tribune. In that photo, BG was dressed in black. He had a black hoodie on. I don't know. It seems like people are being confused by some things, and people might need to come out, clear up the information they're putting out. I mean, they could have released the video cars to ID who was around. It took them 6 years. Koberger case, they released way more. Everything they could. They cleared people as quickly as possible. Big Fish, good point. But in regards to the video, the Hoosier Harvestor video, we know that they didn't have that video at the beginning because they got it wrong in the probable cause affidavit. The FBI puts in there that the girls were dropped off at around 1 p.m., which we know factually after the video came out was closer to 1:49. Now, if they had the video at the time, they would have never put 1 o'clock because they would have known it was a fact. It was not 1 o'clock if they had the Hoosier Harvestor video in their possession. Question is, why didn't they have it? Why wasn't it turned over? How did they get it? And why didn't they have it from the beginning? Because I don't know if you guys know Bill from Delphi Timeline. He actually went down there and live streamed his entire experience in Delphi. He had a lot of weird things that happened, got a lot of good footage. But before he went out there, we had a conversation. He's like, what do you think? Is there anything that I'm not thinking of? I said, man, honestly, to me, the most important thing is the Hoosier Harvestor. Go to the Hoosier Harvestor, ask lots of questions, look for cameras and things like that. And sure enough, he went out there. It's hard to find because it just looks like a big storage facility. He was unable to find it. And then just I think 1 month later, we had all this information. We find out that the Hoosier Harvestor had video of everybody coming and going. You got to trust your gut, guys. Sleuth. Hey, Joey. Sleuth, you just said the cops lie and use us. I didn't say they lie and use us. Well, they are lying about the girls being found on land. So why do you still think they are on land? I think a better question is, why do you think that they weren't on land? I mean, it's almost a fact that they were found on land. I know when you watch the RTV6 chopper footage, you see some weird debris kind of floating in the water, and you see searchers looking over there. You got a lot of weird YouTube content creators putting out a lot of weird, strange information that can't be backed by anything. Not even good argument or good debate or even conversation will help what they're trying to spread. Now, were the girls found in water? I don't know. It's a possibility, right? Does any of the information that's been provided to us point to that? No. Has anything that I've seen with my own eyes pointed to that? No. What have you seen? Better question is, why are you believing things? What do you have to support your argument? Hey, Redfoot, I thought someone found a small blue spot on that photo. It's back there where you think he was, but on the right side. Actually, it's down here is where they think they see him. I want to say this tree right here. It's like behind a tree. Oh, it might be this one. But this is like a steep cliff right here. There's nobody down here. Now, there's a trail that goes down right here, but once it gets to this area, it becomes a cliff. But there is a trail that goes up here. He could have been somewhere over here. I don't know. There's like a dark spot right there. And this is where the trail is. So he could have been up here, seen them here, and then started making his way down. Tina says, I was thinking it could have been another person walking on the bridge. Yeah, I mean, it could have been just some random person passing through. But we know that Richard Allen said he was on the bridge, that he got there at 1:30. He was wearing a blue or black Carhartt jacket and a hat. And he was there right around the time that the girls were there. Yep, Tina says, I still think there were many involved in purposely dressing similarly. Yeah, that could be the case. Criminals do that often. That's not new. For what it's worth, the bridge over dry land at the south side of the creek is about 30 feet above ground. Yeah, because the elevation increases. Yes, Olivia, that's the part that really gets me. I mean, to know that your life is ending. You go from having a great couple weekends, enjoying 3-day weekends, snow days, enjoying your best friends, best time of your life, to this. And if I dwell on that, that's when I kind of start getting really angry, and I'm not thinking clearly. I think it's better to try to keep the emotion away from it. What time and day, KK, at the gas station? Yeah, we need to learn more about that in that video. A lot of this information is going to come out during the court proceedings. People like Frank able to get in the courtroom and hear some of the things that are being said. We can get a firsthand account. Hey, Sleuth and crew. Hey, Linda. All right, let's start closing this conversation out. We're at the hour mark. I wanted to kind of talk about something here. All right. Shout out to Renner for getting these interviews here. This is about a 12-second clip of one of his interviews with Kelsey. Thank you, Linda. Linda with the super sticker. Thank you so much, Linda. All right, let's take a listen to what she says. This is going to start the final part of this live stream and the final topic here.
And we talked about how she was in a big fight with one of her best friends, not Abby, but one of her other ones.
Yeah.
And so we would talk about kind of like how she wanted to be their friend again and how she wanted to get back to where they were before the fight.
There's a lot of drama at that age, right?
Yeah, a lot.
Was it ever anything specific, or?
Not really. It was just like random stuff, like they'd fight over a boy or something.
Right.
Over a boy. Okay, she had a big fight with a friend. I'm assuming it's a friend that introduced her to the Anthony Shots account. Because one of the questions I wrote down this morning is if Keegan was catfishing Libby's friend, who he knew the family personally, right? How did he connect with Libby? So at some point, Anthony Shots and Libby get connected during the sleepover or days after. The week after that, the Anthony Shots account somehow reaches out to Libby and begins communicating. So I think that was the reason for the fight. And it was also the reason that Abby played a bigger role. You know, I think the friend, they got into this big fight. She didn't want to play softball anymore, something along those lines, right? And this was Abby's opportunity to step up, get involved in sports. She called Grandpa. Grandpa came by, hooked her up with all the gear. They played catch. He left on Saturday or Sunday morning. Sunday, Anna and Libby and Abby and all these guys got together at Riley Park and they were playing baseball. Things were going great. But if Keegan, how did he connect with Libby? Why did he connect with her? Is a better question. Chopper Harris, why the story about the gas station in Delphi, date and time? Well, we know about Marathon gas station because the FBI, it was their duty to go and recover all of the security footage. But they were provided, I guess, a hard drive. They downloaded the video onto the hard drive, and then the hard drive ended up being corrupted, or they removed the hard drive from the computer, and then somehow it got corrupted. I don't know. It's all very suspicious. I don't trust the FBI. Sorry, FBI. I just don't. You know, the whole absolute power and all that corruption and whatnot. Something like that, more to the PCA. I know there's, yeah, I heard that too. For channel. Frank Meister, can you add links, please, for the channel? It's come from Olivia. Law enforcement says still from video. I believe it. I agree. I think so as well. Bye, Rebecca. Didn't one of the neighbors ladies mention they've seen them before taking bridge to shortcut to Abby's house? That was out there on the rumor mill. The locals, or that even Anna had mentioned that sometimes they'll cut through there because Abby lives right up the street. So yeah, it's very possible. I can sense their heightened awareness. Yeah, you can just kind of see it in the body language. A few beers, I'd do it. I'm not afraid of heights. Hey, Sassy. Yeah, Sassy, I've been doing these. Been doing these a lot more often. It just seems better to get all this information off my head while while it's fresh, while I'm still kind of thinking about it and working through it. We're almost finished up. We are discussing right now. So Kegan Kline was catfishing a daughter of a family friend, right? He's catfishing her, and he's slowly communicating with her just the way he's communicating with a whole bunch of other girls, local people. Now, why does he out of nowhere get in contact with Libby, which seems to have put a wedge between her and her friend and brought Abby in closer? You know, I don't need you. I have other best friends type of situation. And I'm not giving up Anthony Shots. He's interested in me. Oh, well, that's your problem. If you're jealous, Law enforcement says in the Keegan Kline interview transcript that she was sold. She was enamored. You know, she was completely taken by surprise, I think, on this. Hey, Anna. It said Abby asked if the creepy guy's still following me. That's what I heard from Becky. Is the creepy guy still following us? Or not what I heard from her, but what I seen. She made a comment to somebody on Facebook that's what happened. Where, when, and why was this said? A guy walking. This information came out, Anna, around the Dr. Phil stuff. I think they mentioned it during the Dr. Phil as well. Hey, EL. Just saw this live. Hi, Sleuth and friends. Hope everyone has a nice day. Yeah, I hope everybody has a great Monday. Wasn't the PCA the arrest warrant affidavit? Yep. I don't think we ever saw the search warrant affidavit. Yeah, we did. That's all they revealed in the arrest affidavit was the stuff that gave them permission to search the residence. Everything that they released in the probable cause affidavit for arrest was everything that they had prior to the search. Nothing from the search was in that. So if you read it, it confused the hell out of me at first because it doesn't read like an arrest. It reads like a search. So that's what I'm thinking they did. Why not put that stuff in the probable cause affidavit? Because whatever they found is going to be a big part of the investigation into these other people, I think. Shouldn't Abby still be on the bridge at 2:05? It is empty, guys. She should be back a lot farther. Can she walk that far in 2 minutes? This topic, yeah, it drives me nuts. Thanks for the comment, Tough Love. I mean, they've documented everything. They got the bridge between 2:05 and 2:07. They got video around 2:13. I mean, everything that was going on that bridge, almost everything, was documented. I think BG could have been hiding on the north end. Yeah, he could have. He could have gone down below. There's a trail not too far away. He could have been following the witness and she didn't even know. And then on her way back to her vehicle, he loses her and says, I'll just go back to the bridge. Goes back to the bridge, and guess who's out there? Another target. You know, this goes to the whole theory, the lone wolf theory, which I believe it was not a lone wolf. But we have to consider all possibilities, right? Anana says, did they go down the hill on the north side? No. Down the hill on the south side. I wonder how much it would cost to fly. I would have to, I don't think there's an airport nearby, is there? If I had the funds to go to Delphi, I would go to Delphi. But we do like big trips every year for our anniversary, and we do one big trip and then like two like mini big trips. So all my extra money and all our extra money goes to that kind of stuff. But yeah, whatever goes into this Cash App, we'll figure out what to do with it. Rucky says Bill's video in Delphi is awesome. Yeah, he's got some good videos. He walks the private drive. He shows the mysterious shoe tree. You know, people were talking about that for a while. He just walks right up to it, and it's creepy as hell. Hey, CJK. A witness said she saw a man in black. Either there was a second guy seen or BG had another outfit under the blue jacket and jeans, in my opinion. Or the witness just didn't recall correctly, I think. Back to that, Anna. And also, they don't do a very good job in the probable cause affidavit, the way it's written out. It's not, and I almost feel like they did that on purpose. It's not exactly clear which witnesses said what. Were the witnesses together at this point in time? Were they in a group? Were they walking? Were they separated by 10, 20 feet? I mean, it's very vague. And I think that that's by design. Hey, Vanessa, super sticker from Vanessa Marie. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Anna, I just have a gut feeling there were many involved, all dressing a lot alike. Well, I mean, if this is a premeditated murder and planned out, I don't see why that wouldn't be a simple factor. You know, just wear a blue jacket and blue jeans, everybody. The reason the clothing looked different in the Pharaoh's Tribune article is because it was printed in black and white ink. It was not color print. But Charlie, which one are you referring to? I hope it's not the photograph of the man walking on the bridge with the beard and the hat, because that's Kyle Keener's family member. They all went together to go document the search. I think it was him, his brother, his brother's kids. Like, you'll see an image of a guy holding a kid on the bridge. That's J. Kyle Keener's brother, I believe. Or son, not sure. And then I believe his father or brother, who looks like an old man, and he's dressed all in blue, and he's wearing like a little black hat. I don't know. I have those images. I can pull them up. See if any of them are the ones you're referring to. All right, I think I found him. Let's see. J. Kyle Keener photos. Let's see if it's in here. Let me know if you see any of the ones that you're referring to here. Got Tony Leggett. So we got this image, family of J. Kyle. This is anywhere between 8 a.m. and, or excuse me, 9 and 11 a.m. just prior to when they found the girls on the 14th, early in the morning. You have this photo, which is basically his family, and then two other guys on the bridge, or three search member party members. Sorry. You got the firefighter in, I believe, wearing the vest, and then these are the two gentlemen that he gets a clear photo of on their way back over. Joey says, I believe they were in the river because John Weaver was heard saying it. And then, yes, the chopper video shows the bodies, plus law enforcement caught on video saying they were found on the edge of the river. Yeah, and I think even Kim Riley says they were found in the water, but he wasn't very informed. Kim Riley, I don't know. He's not the best media guy. You know, he doesn't seem to do his due diligence. And honestly, I think that's why Doug Carter ended up coming in. Because if you remember early on, Doug wasn't anywhere around. It was Kim Riley in the front. But I mean, he did a press conference, didn't even know the name of the officers that were behind him. It was kind of embarrassing. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely plenty of reasons to think that. But if they tell you they weren't in the water, Why would they lie? And they're not going to just leave them in the water. They're not going to just search around the river while they're just sitting in the water. They're not going to leave them there. They're going to get them out as quick as possible. All right, guys, we're going to start closing out here in about 5 minutes. So if you have any questions or anything you want to say or anything about the Sleuth Intuition channel, we'll be live on channel 2 tonight, get into some shenanigans if you guys want to hang out there. It'll be more of a political channel. Everybody's welcome. Hey, the Honor Project with Matt Sullivan. What's up, Matt? Good to see you, man. Glad you're looking good. Always good to see you, my brother. Make sure you guys go check out the Honor Project with Matt Sullivan. Covers a lot of coverage on Delphi, Evansdale, true crime. Great content and a great person. Also, I have seen dead bodies in rivers and lakes, and I know what they look like when law enforcement is caught saying they were found on the edge of the river. That's not 50 feet in and staged. Okay. I mean, I don't know for a fact, but if you had to ask me, they were not found in the water. Dive deeper. Hey, good to see you. I don't know how much I believe the whole red Jeep story. Well, it's just strange. Right around the time that Kagan made a deal, which I think he made a deal with law enforcement, that's why they released him into ISP custody and why they took him down to the Wabash River in Peru. I think the reason he went around telling his jail mates and people is because he had already made a deal. He had already said those very words to law enforcement. So now he can go out and use it for clout out on the yard or out, to talking to people. Because he's already, what are they going to do? Tell on him? He's already sold that information for pieces of his freedom or made a deal. He's already provided this valuable information. So now it's no sweat off his what, so to speak. No sweat off his back. Because he's already provided that information to law enforcement. Not only that, he made a deal with that information. So he's going to definitely be more comfortable walking around telling his jail mates about what his role is. He's already told it. No need to hide it. He's using it like a credit card. Thanks, Ruckus. Talk to you soon. Kay says, that's precisely what I've been saying all along. Just makes sense to me. So this is right before this place was flooded with law enforcement. Freckles says, I worked for DHS and am a medic for the Border Patrol. I see bodies in rivers all the time. Those are logs in the river. Yeah, it looks like logs with pieces of trash or something just kind of hooked to them, maybe certain debris. All right, guys, I want to thank everybody for hanging out in the chat. I hope you guys enjoy your Monday. I really appreciate you entertaining these thoughts and theories about the Delphi case. I know you guys are just as interested and invested in the outcome of this case. And I know that the family members and the whole Carroll County community can't wait to get this behind them and honor those girls in a different kind of way without having that question mark. You want to honor them, but then there's like, well, who killed these girls? What about me? What about my children? There's still a killer out there. Eye of Apophis. I worked the Rio Grande too. There was at least one body in the water. Carla, hello. Since going there, I have trouble envisioning under the bridge, as there really isn't much room to stand underneath. Another big question is why, what, how was the Anthony Shots money account connected to Libby? Exactly. So everybody's like, well, of course he was talking to Libby because he was talking to as many girls as possible out there in that age group, catfishing them, right? Yeah, you could say that. But he wasn't sending money to all of them, but he was sending money to Libby. The Keegan Klein transcript says Anthony Shots money going to Libby, not coming from, not going to different girls, going to her. So he can talk to 50, 60, 100 girls, but he's not sending them money. So why did he send money? Did he send the money to get another phone? A burner phone? $60 would get you a burner phone. I'm going to get you a phone and I need you to reset your current phone. Because she thought this guy was 19. And he's like, well, I'm 19 years old. Do you want to get me arrested? I have no problem dating a younger girl, but I could go to jail. It is illegal. So I need you to factory reset your phone. And then I need you to go to the store and purchase another phone without any of your information on it. Possibly. It's all speculation, theories. We'll find out, I'm sure, soon enough. Take care, Freckled. Talks about the two girls, cousins, murdered in the woods over 10 years ago now and saw why so less important. Evansdale, we constantly talk about Evansdale. I have 4 live streams on it. I look at that case constantly. Seems to be a possible connection here. If not the same people, maybe a same group or a same playbook, maybe. I don't know. Yep, Evansdale, Iowa. Lyric and Elizabeth. Miracle Heart says, had to drive daughter back to college and I passed by Miami Correctional and Grissom AFB. I didn't realize they were right next to each other and are both bigger than I pictured too. Yeah, when they show them on the news, it seems like a small facility. Anna says, I question when Libby first had knowledge of contact with Anthony Shots, or did her friend present a new boyfriend during the sleepover? That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking he reached out to Libby's friend during a sleepover. Location still unknown. I don't know if it was at the friend's house, the third party. I just know that it wasn't at Becky's or, it was away from Libby's home. So she's talking to this Anthony Shots guy. She doesn't know it's, the disgusting Keegan Klein, who's actually a family friend who's catfishing her, talking, showing pictures to Libby, like, look how cute this guy is. And then apparently they showed images of the sleepover. They sent images from the sleepover to Keegan Klein. They were sending images back and forth. So he may have been like, well, who's that? Who's all with you? Oh, my friend this, my friend Libby. Okay, he goes to the friends list and says, oh, Libby. Or the whole reason that he was communicating with that night is so that he could get Libby connected. I have a feeling that they, for whatever reason, they were targeted. That first week is when the plan went into play. And I could be wrong, guys. There's not a whole lot pointing to that, but the things that I do have point to that this is an operation that started early February and was completed after that whole Vegas trip. That's just my theory. Jinx, thanks for always being considerate of the locals. Great live as always. Yeah, Jinx, thanks for hanging out the other night. That was fun. Love your accent, by the way. I feel like talking to like a famous country singer. Some kids around the girls' ages working with Anthony Shots, perhaps getting new customers for Anthony Shots. Was Anthony Shots blackmailing the girls? Yeah, there could be some sextortion that they may still be keeping secret now. I mean, There's a movie I was watching. I think it's called Luther. It's a Netflix original, and it's all about this serial killer who goes out and he uses sextortion to manipulate these people so that he can commit his crimes and his murders. And I couldn't help but make the connection to Delphi. He didn't just use one. He would blackmail one individual to get further on another individual, and then once he had that individual, he would blackmail them to get further and closer to his goal, which was some type of sadistic murder in the few cases within the movie. And a lot of these issues ends up being nothing really that important, like I think one guy, like, he had a gay experience or something and he was embarrassed about it. So he allowed multiple people to be killed and hurt, all for just to prevent his embarrassment. Yeah, there's a lot of stupid little things like that. But to them, it was big. To them, it was a big deal. The mental pressure, the psychological pressure from your mother, and the killer would always say, well, how are you going to feel when your mother finds out, or your girlfriend finds out, or your wife finds out, or your friends find out? You start thinking about that. Imagine being a 13, 14-year-old girl and you're under that kind of pressure. I mean, this would make, want to end things. You're just not built to handle that kind of pressure at that age, I don't think. Big Fish, I mean, how did 4 witnesses know each other and find to the trail separately? Small town. But yeah, I mean, these are things you got to hope law enforcement's following up on, which I'm sure that they are. Thanks for the live. Made my day at work go faster. Good, Chopper. Thanks for always being a big part of my channel. I really do appreciate it. All right, let me see if I can grab a few more of these comments, and then we're going to get out of here. Okay, that is the Evansdale, Iowa case. It is very similar to Delphi, but recent developments seem to show that the cases are not connected. Therefore, that case is discussed apart from Delphi. Correct. And I like bringing attention to Evansdale. That case, I think, will be solved here in the near future. Somebody local. It's somebody that's right there. Right there. That case will be solved. We will see that case solved here in the next few years. I guarantee it. I can feel it in my bones. Yeah, someone needs to do a live Evansdale. Yeah, we've done a few on Evansdale. I have a lot of information on there. Maybe I'll reach out to Mr. Sullivan. Maybe we can put something together. He's an expert on that case. He's built relationships with the victims' families, especially one of the fathers. Why did Carter say in the Megyn Kelly show he was on with the family that they were no witnesses and no one actually saw BG, or the guy in Libby's video had none of them spoken to law enforcement yet? If not, why? I think he wanted to do his best to protect them, because it was Kim Riley again who kept dropping the damn ball. He's the one that let the public know that the witness was a she, that she didn't come forward at the beginning. So yeah. Jinx with the super chat. Wow. It's a fat one. Towards that flight to Indianapolis so you can visit Delphi. Indianapolis, that's where the airport is? Thank you so much, Jinx. I always thought Evansdale was an older teen, young adult. Could be totally wrong. Yeah, I don't think so. I think this is somebody, I would say anywhere between 20. Actually, I'm going to say 25 and 50. Somebody who not only is in a point in their life where they own a boat, but they're constantly fishing, they're constantly traveling around that area, hunting, fishing, camping, whatever. And yeah, I think this person was alone. Hey Nate, we're actually about to get out of here. Yeah, I hope you have a great Monday, Nate. Hey Glenn, something that has always bothered me is Libby on the bridge. It looks so photoshopped, and the Chuck Taylor logo is supposed to be on one side, not the outside as seen in the photo. Well, first you got to prove that that is the Chuck logo. I don't see the logo. I see like a white smudge. So we'll start there. Airport in Indianapolis. Well, we have a plan to go out there. It's kind of slowed since the Richard Allen stuff has kind of gone on because I wanted to go there and do some investigating. That kind of put a little bit of a put some brakes on that. But now, with the mystery of others being involved, I want to get back out there. And if I was planning on flying into Chicago because my wife has family there, but whatever's easiest, I definitely want to get out there and do it without anybody knowing that I'm there. Yeah, Steve, True Crime Web. Yeah, Steve's cool. Has also gone to Evansdale and met with the same family member, the father. He's, I don't know, every time I see him, it breaks my heart. But it goes to show how they, including law enforcement, can so easily tell a bald-faced lie. If that's the case, and he was lying about there being witnesses. Well, he does this thing, Kay, where it's not a bold-faced lie. It's kind of like word judo. He knows how to use certain words and how to use them so that it's not binding. He's not being held 100% to what he's saying. He's leaving room, some wiggle room. Delphi International is closed for maintenance. See, that's what I thought. I was going to bring my private plane in there. You know how it goes. All this jet fuel these days is really expensive. We're a group effort. It seems moving staging just to make it look like a serial murder. Yeah, Kate. Usually, from everything that I read, that law enforcement puts out and the bulletins, the handbooks, instructional manuals, all that kind of stuff, staging is done to mislead. It is also done, for ritual purposes, but usually in the cases that they've solved and the information that they have on staging and those types of criminals, it's there to mislead. That's usually done by family members or people who know the victims. So let's say you didn't really plan a murder, you commit the murder, now you're panicked. That's when the staging kicks in. You're like, oh shit, they're going to make these connections to me and this victim. I know this victim. I was just with this victim. I just yelled at this victim in public. Okay, well, if I do a bunch of weird satanic stuff, they're going to think it was a ritual killing. It's like it's not really that thought out. But then you have these cases where victims are part of a ritual. The victims are not the target. The target is the ritual itself, and they just play a small part. But you want to talk about rare, that's extremely rare. And it might be why they were so interested in the Stevenson and Delphi case, because I think that might be what's going on. This type of staging may not have been done to mislead, but for ritual purposes. Czar81. Hello. Sloop, there's a video from your channel with Julie Melvin, source of the 2 sketches reposted from Don't Hate Create. How did it get from 4 young girls to 3 in the PCA? Well, it's 3 young girls and then a 4th woman. So 4 girls total, but I'm not sure. I mean, there's still probably a lot that they could have added in that probable cause. There may be witnesses that we don't know about. Secret sleuth visit. Yep. Yes, sir. Creative writing, abstract ladder, fact gets changed through free association until it is something very different. Chicago, 1 hour and 30 minutes to Delphi. Yep. 1 hour drive. Yeah, I got to charter the G6, you know. Got to taxi it on the runway. It's just a big headache. Yeah, I might take the private helicopter. I'll just take mine. I have an underground tunnel too. Elon Musk hooked me up. He was asked point blank, were there any witnesses or did anybody see the man in the video that day? I don't know if they said in the video that day. I think they said something specific. Anybody on the trail or something like that. So it's like he'll kind of listen to the question, he'll break it down quickly in his mind, and then he'll respond in a way that leaves that wiggle room. But I'll find it, Kay. We'll see if we can break it down. Here, let me write it down. And then in our next meeting, we'll talk about that because that is good. The nuance and the subtleties. Yeah, because I mean, if he's telling the public a bold-faced lie, then we got to examine a lot of other information that he's put out. So I can dig where you're going with this. What about the public event sleuth, like a cruise or Vegas sleuth symposium? I would spring for that. That'd be cool. If I could get somebody like an investigator, somebody locally to join me, that'd be really cool. We can just hang out. Take questions from a group. Slooper cruise. They don't have to say much in the PCA. Yeah, they don't. They don't have to provide everything. And we know that the judge, she's seen Judge Gall, Fran Gall has seen everything. So whatever was found at Richard Allen's during the search, she's seen it. She knows what it is. She knows how important it is not to be seen. Her job is not to be partial or not to be, oh, I'm on law enforcement side or I'm on the suspect side. She just needs to make sure that that court proceeding is fair. That she has one job, and that's just to make sure that the proceedings are done properly. That's it. She's not there to be like, oh, well, I'm on your side, prosecutor. You know, we work together. No, her job is to make sure that there's not a mistrial. She's doing a really good job. The Sleuthiverse. Oh, Indianapolis to Delphi 1.5, Chicago to Delphi 3 hours. Yeah, 1.5 sounds better. Just depends on the hotels. Not taking a 3-hour flight to go sit in some slum. Meet up Miss Sleuth in Delphi, then on Evansville, Iowa. Yeah, I'm not meeting up with anybody, Boston. I don't trust anybody, sorry. Only one question about Delphi. What would it be? What were the signatures and staging at the scene? And what items were left? Secular and non-secular. I don't know. I don't only have one question. But if I only had one, I think I would have to ask what sparked the Wabash search? Because they admitted that it was for Delphi. They said, but one thing they didn't admit was that they found anything. They didn't say they didn't. Once again, there's that vague, wiggly Response. Rebecca Ann, there's an airport in Kokomo called Kokomo Municipal Airport. My husband's uncle owns it. Oh, you gonna fly me in? Phil Bond, flying into Fort Wayne or South Bend is less expensive. The best mod award goes to, well, that's you, Derek. Derek and D. Megan Kelly Show. Sleuth Roast. Fly out of there all the time. Yeah, I like the smaller airports. Make sure you visit Gary. Heard it's beautiful. Now I know you're joking. It ain't the Erie, Indiana anymore. You guys ever watch that show? Erie, Indiana. How's it going? You got it, Kay. Thanks for participating. Nate, thank you. Thank you, Glenjamin, for always participating. Carter seems to hint at the fact that the body, head, and voice are all different people. Yeah, that's what I always thought Burston meant when he said, people in the TV business, what do you see? Thought there was a lot going on a bridge that we don't know about. Heck out of here in Idaho, Chad and Lori Dalebell created portals for astral travel. Maybe they could make one available to travel from Arizona. No, thanks. Keep my spirit in my body. Thank you. Yeah, shit. Flowers are in bloom. You can smell them on 94. All right, guys. Don't miss the live stream. It's not going to be a true crime stream. So if you guys are looking for a little break, you want to get into some political debate, discussion, everybody's welcome. That should be around 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you guys want to partake, usually it's a small group, mostly bickering back and forth. Something still odd about this case. Yeah, something very weird. Like, we don't want our imaginations to run wild in a case. Usually it's the simplest explanation that's right in front of you is the answer. But with this case, and there are some exceptions, I think that there is something grandiose, something planned, a conspiracy, so to speak, at play. And it does happen. And I think we might be looking at something along those lines, whether it's a group of idiots, druggies, powerful people in the town, maybe a mixture of all of the above. Who knows? Or it could just be a handful of sick individuals like Garrett Kurtz and his little group of weirdos. Could be something like that, or much more nefarious. I don't know. But we're going to keep looking at it, and we're going to keep waiting for answers. So thank you guys for hanging out, and I'm going to see you on the next one. Hit the like on the way out. And if you can, share it. It helps the channel. Peace out, guys.